Good evening, good evening, good evening, wonderful YouTube folks. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope you are doing well. We are here for the judging of the finals for the B-Roll Smackdown, and I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. I don't know what that hissing is, but it's pretty annoying. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to jump right into TopicRuben's video. I'm going to play it right now, guys. He is going to be the first to be judged, so here we go. This is TopicRuben's final entry. Alrighty, there we go. That is the finals entry for TopicRuben. Excellent stuff. Michael T. Panetta, we're going to go to you first. Let us know what you thought about TopicRuben's final entry.
Well, once again, the man has managed to produce a TV commercial for B-roll, which is just absolutely amazing. Topic, of course, I think it's redundant at this point, unless somebody wants to be a rebel and not stay on topic when it comes to B-roll. We definitely got to give him a 10 for that. As far as cinematography goes, I almost gave him a 10, but there was just a couple things that I was like, eh. But I'll tell you what I loved first. I loved the intro with the car, walking to the car and walking away from the car, purposely not being smooth, like just like a rugged intro, walking to the car, going to work, or going to the barn. I thought that was really cool. The driving of the car I thought was really cool, going through the mud, just doing the turns, just everything was just really good. The coloring was really good. Inside the car and in the house in the beginning, felt like there was a little bit of noise. That was the reason why I held back giving it 10. Just a little bit of noise. And I know that can be tough inside a vehicle, especially on a cloudy day if there's no sunshine coming in. But I really like the theme of everything with the cinematography. I give it a 9 for that. As far as the music goes, the music was perfect for the video itself. I don't know, and I mean, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, if that was ambient noise he was using or bumping the effects, because you had the car door, the keys, throwing the hat on the seat, the gloves, and just like it just seemed to kind of just a little bit louder than everything else. So I'm really impressed with that. Music, sound, the whole 9. I got to give him a 10 on that. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal.
Awesome, Michael T. Thank you very much. Chandra, yep. You're up next for TopicRuben, so let's hear it.
Okay, I'm pretty much in agreement with Michael Panetta on this one. The beginning of telling a story, that's what I love, is the telling of the story. Getting the keys, getting his shoes on, going out the door, and yes, the same thing with the camera being a little bit shaky for this one, because it just went along with the type of movement he was doing. It was perfect. The 2 types of transportation, actually, one that was kind of hidden, which of course was the horse. At the end, he was on his way to go for a ride, which I loved that story very much. Let's see, the cinematography, again, I gave the topic a 10. Cinematography, I gave a 9 as well. The sound was right on. I loved the ambient sound, and like Michael said, he boosted it a little bit where it needed to be. So very, very, very good job. Fantastic. Loved it.
Awesome, Chandra. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Jay Littman, it is your turn to judge TopicRuben's B-roll Smackdown final entry. What do you have to say about this awesome entry?
I don't feel like I need to say anything more because you guys pretty much got it right, or right on par with what I said. 10 out of 10 for Topic. Cinematography, yeah, the story was amazing. The camera work was great. What I really loved about this was the fact that you could tell just because of the shots that you actually took the time to plan out the shots. It wasn't like you grabbed your camera, ran out of the house, and tried to grab some shots of something and throw it together. Like, you spent time, you took the time to actually plan everything out, which I have huge respect for. I gave it a 9 for cinematography. The only things that I didn't like, I did like the camera work where it was, rugged and shaky, but there were a couple times when it wasn't like, it's not the shake that I'm talking about, but just a little bit of the jitter that could have been cleaned up in post. And then also some of and I still don't know how to say it any other way, some of the fancy transitions. There was one place where it worked perfectly, which was when you were aiming the camera at the steering wheel, you were moving down towards the stick shift, and then that like weird slinky thing kicked in. And it actually worked because it looked like you were whipping the camera down. So in that place it worked, in the other places not so much. So 9 out of 10 for cinematography. Sound, 10 out of 10. You had ambient noise. The levels were perfect. And a lot. 10 out of 10 for sound. So
judging. What that is the crowd can judge each entry. Ruben's entry.
TopicRuben, some folks were right along the line with us. A couple weren't. So we got a total score of, with the 3 together, we got a total score of 27 for those.
27.
So a little bit lower than what we scored, but almost right on.
Yep, 27, honey. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael T. I really appreciate that.
Giddy up.
I'm going to give Monica a second to tabulate the scores and wipe the board. And while we do that, we are going to go right on to GeoJerrys' entry. So let's take a look at GeoJerrys' final entries, guys. All right, there we go with GeoJerrys' finals entry. And to start off this round of judging, I'm going to go to Mr. Jay Littman. Mr. Jay Littman, what say you about GeoJerrys' final entry for this month?
I just muted my microphone, Michael. God. All right, Topic, 10 out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10. That was, it was transportation. It was trains. I really liked it. Cinematography. Trying to get, okay. Cinematography, there were some things that I really liked. I like that you used in-camera transitions. There was good effort there. The only thing that I would say, when you're doing in-camera transitions, you never want to have the second half of the transition going in the exact opposite way that you started it. So a lot of times you went into the transition left to right, and then you came out of the transition right to left. Whenever you do an in-camera transition, you always want to go, either continue going with the left and right, or you can even change direction and go down to up or up to down, whatever it is. It just never go back the same way you came. It just seems a little bit unnatural. Also, the part where the camera lens is completely covered should be a little bit shorter so it can seem a little bit more of a smooth transition. I did like that you stuck with trains. It was one subject through the whole thing, unless I missed something. But it seemed like it was just one subject through the whole thing, which was I wrong about that? Am I wrong about that? I'm wrong about that. Sorry. There was a lot of trains, though. One of those shots of the trains, the one where it started off with the train coming to you, and then you whipped the camera, so it was going away from you. The part where it was going away from you, I felt like it was held a little bit too long. You could have gone on to a different shot there. It's when you're doing any kind of video, audience retention is key. And if you hold a shot for just a little bit too long, I was actually just talking about this with Chandra, the average attention span of a viewer is about 6 seconds. So you want to keep it moving. And also, especially when you're doing in-camera transitions, I noticed that your ISO or your exposure and also your focus were both on auto, which is why you had like the image changing throughout the whole thing. You want to make sure that you have your focus locked on whatever you're panning to before you start your shot, and also make sure your exposure is set and locked in instead of on auto, so it doesn't just adjust mid-frame. So I gave it a 6 out of 10 out of cinematography. There was really, really good effort, but there's a lot of room for improvement there. As far as sound, I gave 9 out of 10. You had ambient noise. The levels were good. The only thing I would have liked to see would have been some sound effects, some maybe whooshes during those in-camera transitions. So 9 out of 10 for sound.
Incredible. Thank you, Jay. That was awesome. Chandra, you are up next. What did you think of GeoJerrys' finals entry?
Okay, I thought it was very good. For topic, I gave it a 10. 2 different types of transportation. There were vehicles on the bridge and then trains. So very good. Cinematography, I gave a 6. We're going to go ahead and I got a couple of spots in Michael's video, how it's set up. So if you go to the seconds, like 22 seconds in, the transition starts moving to the left. When you come into the next transition, it's easier on the eyes if you come in from the same direction, basically just what Jay said. 45 seconds in, you do a self-made moving transition, which goes pretty well, except for the clip you blend to doesn't last long enough before cutting to the train. So you started to go to the tracks, but it ended within like, I don't know, a second or 2, and then it was just an abrupt cut. So it would have been better if it had lasted just a little bit longer. I enjoyed how I enjoyed how the bridge and the vehicles on it was your main focus. At first, you were telling a story by getting closer to it and then backing away from it. And you used the transitions to do that as well. You kind of blended in forward and blended backwards. I loved those transitions to pull close and then move further away. The sound, I liked the piece of music that you chose, and it fit well by leaving in the traffic with the traffic noise that you left in was great. So I gave it an 8. So 10, 6, and 8.
Awesome, Chandra. Thank you so much. Thank you. Michael T. Panetta, you are our final judge on GeoJerrys' entry. What are your thoughts, my friend?
I agree with the other judges as far as topic goes. It was great choice. I love watching trains and everything that they do, just fast, slow, changing tracks. I mean, the whole nine. It's just absolutely cool to watch. Cinematography, I'm right in between Chandra and Jay. I like the natural transitions that you had. A little shaky when it comes to it. It needs to be a little neater, I think, when you're panning in. And for me, too many kinds of transitions. There's just different ones all over the place, especially for a 1 minute clip. You kind of want to, I think, stick with a theme. But I like the natural ones better. You know, when you were swiping over between the rocks, like you went to the rock and then you came back and there was the bridge. I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, it was just like the ball you were using. I think you had it on a tripod at that point. It was just a little, like stuttery. And I noticed some of the shots weren't framed properly. They were a little bit off. They weren't completely level. So that took my eye away from what you were showing me. At the end, when you showed the train scene, I had said the same thing that Jay and Chandra said, just as far as when you were coming in and out of the transition and whatnot. I do feel like also that you did too much with that train at the end. When I was checking everyone's time when they were doing the B-roll, it was almost half the 1 minute. Just on that one train scene, and I know and I see why you liked what you did there. You enjoyed that train, but I know that when you're trying to keep people's entertainment, people's eyes and attention, you can't go 30 seconds on the same thing. You got to change it up a little bit. But it's a learning process. You like the trains, and that's fine. So I gave cinematography a 7 on that one. As far as sound goes, it was cool music. It didn't really follow the shots. It was just kind of playing in the background. There wasn't really a story to go along with it. That's really the only time I find that you don't follow the shots when you're doing music if you're telling a story, kind of like what TopicRuben did. He did stick with transitions, though, in that. But when you're telling a story, you tend to follow the beat of the music less. I mean, you certainly can, but I think you can get away with it more. But when you're just doing strict B-roll, you really got to keep the flow going and match the music that you're doing. So I really didn't feel like it did that. So music, I did give a 7 out of 10 on.
Awesome, Michael T. And then, of course, you are the procurer of the crowd judging scoring. So tell us what the crowd judged for GeoJerrys' final entry.
It was actually right behind TopicRuben. They got a 26.
26. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael T. Now I see that both of the people that have contributed prizes to the B-Roll Smackdown finalist winner are in the room, so I want to take a moment to acknowledge those guys and thank them so much for their contribution. Wheelz does custom wood design signs. I have it in my studio. If you watch the best hour of my day at all, you've seen the sign 1,000 times. It's absolutely stunning and amazing. So the winner is going to want to contact Wheelz. They are in the chat right now. Also needs more subs. Very, very good friend of the show on both of my channels, and he's been such an amazing support to me, and he is offering up 2 original pieces of music for the winner to use on their channel. Needy, this is such a cool thing, so thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys contributing and supporting the winners on these. It means a lot to me. I know a lot of these guys compete just because they want some feedback on what they're doing and they want to have a way to improve, and plus it gives them a chance to be creative. But you know what, when you can win a prize or 2 at the end, that doesn't hurt, guys. It means a lot. So thank you so much, Wheelz and Needs More Subs, for contributing to the finals prize pool. That is just awesome. I also want to make sure that I thank the amazing judges that are hanging out doing this for free, just because they want to, I want to have people that know what they're talking about to be able to tell you guys what you can do better or whatever. I think it's awesome. I love the judging aspect of this. I think it's so much better than crowd judging, because you actually get feedback as to why people like or might not like your stuff. And I love the feedback on GeoJerrys, because Jerry, I have the same problem, man. I fall in love with a shot and I just think the shot is so awesome, I'll use it too long. It happens to me all the time, man. It happens to everybody. In fact, that's why I have people looking over my edits, because as a filmmaker, you tend to fall in love with what you shoot, and you don't always have that objective look at what you do. So that's another thing I just love about this judging process. It's really cool for everybody. So we're gonna move on to the final entry of the finals for the B-Roll Smackdown for this month. Gregory Salvatore, here is a look at his finals video. Hey guys, that was awesome. That is the finals entry. And of course, that was Gregory Salvatore, or Salvatore. I have to ask him how he pronounces it. I should know. And I want to know how he pronounces it so I can make sure that I keep doing it wrong, as everyone knows. So I have to do that. But it's not about me, guys. We're going to go to Chandra right now to see what she thought about Gregory Salvatore's finals entry. Hit it up, Chandra.
I thought he did for the topic. I loved it. It was very up close and personal with motorsports. The cinematography, I judged it a little bit more harshly because the transitions were just a little bit overused, just a tad, but I loved them at the same time. The great low and high angle shots for the action shots. I love the I did like the stop for the motion, but the footage was a bit shaky right before the bikes were jumping, and I know that was probably for anticipation of the movement. If maybe it was on a gimbal or it was a little bit more steady, you could have just been flowing with the shot before the bike came over just to capture that one moment of smooth motion. And I did give you a 10 for sound because I did like your choice of music. It kept up with everything really well, and I liked hearing when it did freeze frame. I liked hearing the sounds of the bikes in the background. So I thought that was really nice. So that's a 10, 8, and 10.
Awesome, Chandra. Thank you so much. We are going to go to Michael T. Panetta as our next score for Gregory Salvatore's final entry. Tell us what you thought of this one, Michael.
Well, I definitely enjoyed the video. Topic was a 10. You know, I think that goes without saying. As far as cinematography goes, I did enjoy, and I know this sounds kind of funny because we talk about the idea of trying to use more natural transitions, but I like the theme. I like the theme of what he was using for this. And it is a theme transition. You can get it on iMovie or Final Cut. I mean, I think on that, but you know, it's a cool transition, and I like that he stuck with it throughout the B-roll clip. I thought they were timed just right. I thought it was a nice way to cut it out where it was when the bikes were jumping or about to land or about to take off. And I actually thought the coloring was pretty good. It's so tough sometimes to get coloring right on a gray day. And you've got a dark ground and dark dirt and everything. So it's kind of filling up half the screen. I myself would have blown out the back. That's just how horrible I am. Jay, shut up. So I'm not good at that. So Jay is good at that because all he ever does is shoot in gray days. He doesn't shoot in sunshine. So, I mean, I could understand that. I'm not good at that. But, I thought it was tough to do that. I agree with Chandra. I like the different angles that were set up, whether it was a low shot or a higher shot based upon where the bikes were entering or coming into the picture. So I gave a 9 out of 10 on cinematography. I just, it's not always frowned upon. It's sometimes frowned upon to put that same transition in a B-roll, but I just thought it worked for this. Sound design, right on. Everything went matched up well. It was a nice, gritty song to go with motorbike riding, and I thought it was timed well too with the transitions. I thought it flowed well, and it didn't, kind of wasn't herky jerky. It moved well with it. So I give it 10. So, Jay.
All right, thank you, Michael T. Panetta. We're gonna go now to Jay Littman. Let's see what Jay has to say about Gregory's finals entry.
All right, so
you got to put the English accent on. I completely disagree with Michael. He's a moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Actually,
I'm gonna mute myself now.
All right, let's start with topic. Topic 10 out of 10. It was transportation, so 10 out of 10. Cinematography. All right, I like the transitions. I did. I liked the transitions. By the end, it seemed like it was getting a little bit repetitive, but overall, I liked it. I did. It was cool. It fit the video. It definitely fit the video. As far as the rest of it, because I know that's where Michael really wanted to hear me comment there, was on the transitions. But I did. Overall, I really like the transitions. Maybe if it were me, I maybe would have done, like, instead of that in between each scene, maybe done like a whip pan in between a couple scenes, in between those special transitions, so they weren't so repetitive. But I did like them. I did like them. Like Chandra said, some of the footage was a little shaky. In some places that worked because of the nature of the video. In some it didn't. One place, or maybe a couple places, that I will definitely critique you, is a couple of those shots where you were like walking up to the part where you actually got the shot. I would have started that shot when you're already there. The walking up to it, it kind of, I can't explain it, but it didn't fit. Like, I would have started each shot in the spot where you were going to get the shot, if that makes sense. And as far as the color is concerned, the color, the tone was good, but I would have bumped up the contrast just a little bit. The image seemed a little bit flat to me. And that was it. So I would have bumped up the contrast, which does increase your highlights, and you do and you do run the risk of blowing out your highlights. However, when it comes to color correcting, color grading, it's kind of like a back and forth thing. So you set your shadows and your highlights, and then will you stop that, Michael? So you set your shadows and your highlights, and you bump up the contrast, and you bring your highlights back down or bring your shadows back up, and you just tweak it until it's right. I would have liked to seen a little bit more contrast, and I'm done. So 8 out of 10 for cinematography. Sound 10 out of 10. The music was perfect. The ambient noise was great, especially how it kept going during those still frames. So that was really cool. 10 out of 10 for sound.
Oh, that was awesome, Jay. Thank you. You know, I'm actually as surprised as Michael T was about you enjoying those transitions. And let me just tell you, I don't usually give my thoughts, but I watch a lot of Velocity and a lot of Motor Trend TV, and this entry reminded me so much of like an intro to one of those shows, and I just loved the transitions. I thought it was really cool. Now, granted, in an intro for one of those, that wouldn't be a minute long, so maybe the minute made it more repetitive. If this had been the 30-second video, we probably wouldn't have even noticed. But I thought it was super cool, man. I thought it was really fun.
You know what it reminded me of? Reminded me of the beginning of Death Race.
Yeah.
You know, when they put the names up of the characters, you know, they're like Frankenstein, undefeated, you know, something like that. But it was kind of cool.
Oh, that was definitely a lot of fun, though. You guys are doing an awesome job. So, Michael T. Panetta, we do have a final crowd judging score for Gregory, and it looks like it might be really close here. So what was the final score for our...
I think this is gonna be just short, because he also got a 26. So that's like an extra point for TopicRuben, and I think we scored him just a little bit under. So it'll be real interesting to see what the final score is. So the crowd score was a 26. It's going to be really close.
Just going to pop it in here, and in just a second, we're going to know. 111. 111. So that means
close.
That means that our winner for this month is TopicRuben, and I believe
returning champ.
He's a returning champ now.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
First
Two-time
time
champion. That means we're going to have to get him. That means we're going to have to, get him on the judging panel if one of you guys want to compete at some point, I think.
That actually wouldn't be a
good
bad
idea.
Yeah. Take like a month off and let someone jump in and do it for the month, and then they get critiqued.
Well, you know what?
That would be interesting. I'd like to hear
TopicRuben's. I definitely would, too. Hey, guys, I want to make sure that I just thank every one of you amazing contestants for competing in this. And I want to have a little bit of a discussion with the chat and my awesome judges right now, because we're a little short. This has been a pretty short broadcast, and we got through it. Congratulations to TopicRuben. It's just awesome. Winning 2 times on this kind of competition is just amazing. You did a fantastic job. All the entries were so good, so good. What do you guys think we should do? Have you given any thought, or anyone in the chat have any thought on what they would like to see as the February topic of the B-Roll Smackdown?
Coffee.
No.
Not coffee and not Valentine's Day. Okay, Valentine's Day is off.
So for those of you, for those of you in the chat who are wondering why why everyone's laughing about the coffee thing, I have a problem with coffee B-roll at this point, because I know it's Peter McKinnon's thing.
You ain't judging.
And yeah, I'm not judging, but I just think that we can B-roll other stuff. People do drink other beverages or make other food. It doesn't always have to be coffee, so they're just making fun of me. I don't want you guys to be out of the joke.
I think Jay's right on the same path that I am. So go ahead, Jay. You say it.
Food
and drink B-roll challenge.
There you go.
Because it's not the best weather everywhere. It may not be as easy for folks to get out, which, was probably even tough for the January one. But food and drink.
I like that idea. And then Chandra had come up with an idea a couple of months ago about one that I want to definitely do as soon as the weather turns. She suggested animals, and I think that's definitely in the docket once the weather warms up and people can get outside. Because I remember her saying it just when it got cold, and I'm like, damn, I would have had like 50 bunnies in my backyard to shoot twice a week. Now it's like the desolate dead of winter, and I don't see anything.
Shoot.
Yeah, like either way, I could have had bunny soup 3 times a week. But so animals is definitely on the docket, Chandra. But what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think food and drink is an interesting proposition? Are we going to have a side rule that says no coffee? I mean, it's up to you guys.
No,
coffee is a drink.
By the way, before I forget and the chat gets too far ahead, Gregory did say that B-roll clip was originally developed for an after movie for a track. So, pretty cool.
That
is awesome.
TopicRuben, Jack Daniels, LOL, just kidding.
TopicRuben says animals would be beautiful. As soon as the weather warms up, TopicRuben. And then
I think I like that one.
Heavy Metal Magnet says that humans would be interesting. Some human actions.
My only thing with human actions is you got to get people that are comfortable getting on camera. But I guess that makes it even more challenging because it is a challenge.
It is.
So we should make it a little bit more difficult.
It is. That. So Jeremy Feyrer sounds like he's in for the food for next month.
I see that.
Did you do food once before, Michael?
I did in the house stuff. So we did have a lot of people kind of cooking for that one. And the one thing that kind of cautions me when we do B-roll Smackdown topics that are so laser focused is that a lot of them tend to end up being the same. So you're basically going to end up in a finals watching 3 or 6 minutes or 3 or 5 minutes or whatever of, basically really, really similar B-roll, which makes it an extreme challenge to be really creative. But if that's the direction that you guys want to go, let's face it, everybody has access to food, so you can really do it up and have a lot of fun with it if you want to. So what's the final? It sounds like the chat likes the idea of trying out food next month.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do food and drink.
There you go.
Because it does open it up for the making of some form of beverage that may not be coffee.
21090 could enter.
Sure.
It could be tea.
21090 has actually been talking about entering for a while.
I was thinking alcoholic mixing. I don't know how to do that, but someone can do it much better than me.
A mixologist.
Jay can mix tea. Jay, why don't you enter this one? You do tea.
Jay can't enter. I need my judges. All right, guys. So next month's next month's topic is going to be food then. We're going to try it out, food and drink. And so the initial entry is going to be 30 seconds of B-roll for food and drink. And the entries are going to be due. I don't know. I'll do a video telling you exactly when the entries are going to be due because I have to look at the way the month is laid out. But usually the entries are due the first Sunday of the month. If the first Sunday of the month is like on a is like the second or third or something, then that's not going to be the case. But if the first Sunday of the month is like the 6th or 7th or 8th or something like that, then we may go that route. So just let me take a look at the month. I will drop a video this week sometime that just says, here is what the B-Roll Smackdown is going to be, and here's the date your entries are due, so you guys know. But hey, this has been awesome, guys. Thank you, judges, so much for stepping up and judging again. I know this is tough. You guys spend a lot of time watching these videos so that you can give solid critiques, and I know it's a lot of work, so thank you guys so much.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you to Waymu, Wood Designs, and of course Needs More Subs for the awesome contributions that they have made to prizes for this month. Congratulations to TopicRuben for his 2-time win now. I want to congratulate Gregory, GeoJerrys, and all the other amazing entries that were in the first round. Guys, please keep submitting. You're doing an amazing job, and I do believe we actually have a 2-time winner in That's How I Roll as well. They did win the one that I didn't host in October. So, I mean, it's just amazing. It's absolutely fantastic that this competition has been running well over 6 months now. And I think it gets better every time. Every time. So thank you guys.
It does.
Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. It's tough to work this machine without a mouse. That's why I've been off all night. I apologize. We were a few minutes late. We were having a weird technical looping difficulty with some of the audio. Got it squared away. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me on your Sunday night. I know you got lots of things you could be doing. The fact that you chose to come and hang out with us means a lot to me. I love you guys for that. Have a great day. Make sure you make the best of it tomorrow because, you know, you're not going to get a million tomorrows. So make the best of it. Hug your kids, hug your wife, find your adventure, and I will see you guys soon. I love you guys.
Bye.